We were sleeping on some of this news a little bit. We were originally going to talk about Fedora 43 in the first episode, but we punted, and it kind of ended up working out because now it's released.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
and they actually did move. They moved the release a little bit, so I mean, it's probably good that we waited just a little bit. So that it actually did release. Yeah.
Yep. I have not rebased yet, though I suppose Bluefin probably has access, or there's builds of Bluefin now on 43, probably.
Well, I mean, I can tell you right now that on the Aurora install that I'm sitting in front of, I am on 43.
Awesome. Wait. Aurora is KDE.
It is.
43. I'm thinking Gnome. What am I thinking? You said KDE, and my mind immediately went to Gnome.
Yep, no. Yeah. So I'm on the 43 version of Aurora, essentially, because I'm
very
using
cool.
The latest image.
Cool. Well, you answered my question then. So I should just rebase. Well, what is it? You just update.
You just update.
Yeah, and I should be good to go, right? Cool.
I would think so. Yeah.
What I won't get to see though is the new Anaconda web UI. That is one of the things that that Fedora 43 came out with this time, which I won't complain too much about the loss of Anaconda.
Well,
proper.
You got to try it first.
I know. I will. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's great. It's great. Good job, everybody.
Yeah, but with updating, we don't get to see that unless we do a fresh install. So
right, and I'm just lamenting the loss of the hub and spoke. Apparently its only fan. I really enjoyed.
There's a few people I think that are out there, but there's not many.
Yeah. Okay. Well, me and the other two people that enjoyed hub and spoke, we're good.
I don't know. I think they needed to move to a different technology. Regardless of what mechanism you use, whether that's hub and spoke or, linear type install, I think the underlying technologies kind of needed to change more than anything. And that just presented the opportunity to change it to work a different way.
Yeah.
I mean, even in the hub and spoke model that they had, I think there was just little inconsistencies that made it more confusing. Which makes it harder, right?
Right.
The next button, the done button's over here, the next button's over here, that kind of thing. Where do I go when I'm completed with this task? It should be the same, I feel like, on every page to get back to the center.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. That was my favorite thing about Anaconda, man. Like, you had to center yourself.
Yeah.
It was good.
We had to look all over the map to find the right path, though. So
yeah,
that was the tricky part, right?
Yeah, I mean, consistency things aside, I think it's Microsoft, man. Like the Windows next has just permeated absolutely everything, and that is why I think I lament the most, because it lost a bit of its uniqueness, right? And it didn't have to be hard. There were things that could have been changed to make it better, but
perhaps
anyway, that's a conversation I've already had. But it's new now. It's more linear now with more linearness. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool, I guess. It's fine.
We'll have to,
I'll be fine.
We'll have to really give it a shakedown at some point, though.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we did, we'll talk about it a little bit later, but we did with the Cosmic one. Mm-hmm. There were comments on YouTube that were like, you didn't do it fast enough. It was like,
sorry.
I'm taking my time with this one. But, yeah, so also Fedora Core OS. Now, I may not fully understand this, but if I understand it the way that I think I understand it, then this is actually a pretty good thing, or at least from where I'm sitting. So Fedora Core OS is now buildable from a Fedora-based bootc image using a container file instead of needing to be compressed with a custom tool. So the way I read this, or the way that I understand this, is that this is going to allow you to create, or anybody that wants to tinker a bit, to create their own offshoots of CoreOS or Fedora, and create their own Bluefins and create their own Auroras and all of that other kind of fun stuff.
Probably smaller when you think about CoreOS, right?
Right.
More like server build type things, not necessarily GUI builds. Although you could probably do that. I mean, but it's the base. And so kind of lets you, specify the things you need and want in your container file, I suppose, and build that.
Is it more okay? So Fedora CoreOS and defining it with a container file. This sounds a lot more like what Docker is than.
Well, the whole thing is sort of. I guess that's some of what George's point is. It's a lot like building a Docker image. It's composable, right?
It's that word again. Yeah, there it is.
There you go, buddy. But that's some of the point, right? Is you basically you can compose it from that way, like you would a Docker image. Yeah. Think about like even more like applications. Like that's kind of how snaps work. Is you have you have a YAML file that is your thing,
container file essentially.
Yeah, essentially, and then it brings in those components to create your whole application.
Right, and then you're just given a little pile of here. There you go.
Yeah,
there's your thing.
Squash,
all
of it. Squash file system.
Right.
There you go.
Right. Okay. That's pretty cool. So
I
would
guess it's like that? Yeah.
So I guess maybe we could kind of even compare it to LXC a little, maybe?
Probably.
In that,
yeah. I mean, in that same regard, right? Yeah.
But you know what would be cool about LXC was, are there container files for LXC, like to make the container reproducible? Because I'm still a little baby bird.
So could you take those and then make your own? Probably there's a way to squash that up and do it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, to make them distributable, like more like a Docker than.
Well, there's a bunch of them out there. Just about every distro. I mean, that's probably what they use to make them. So someone's doing that.
Okay, all right. So
like you can get Alma Linux, and you can get CentOS, and Debian. All of those are available in an LXC.
Yeah, because I think like one of the turnkey Linux. I think the turnkey Linux folks have a bunch of different kinds of containers or whatever. So how do I make one like that? How do I get LXC, install an application on it, and then give it to someone and say, here's the application, and then here's kind of like a quick onboarding. You have to answer these questions, blink, blink, blink. And then now you have a running, I don't know, Nextcloud or Plex or something, right? Like I think that would be really cool. And then even, build in the automation to keep it up to date would be also pretty cool. Is that a thing? Can you do
how
that?
much time you got?
Well, right. Not all of it. I have some of it. But I don't know. Like, it just seems like that's kind of where everything is moving, right? Like, everything seems to be moving in such a way that, the base of the thing is just going to be what it is.
Yeah.
And then there's really not a lot of customization you do to it. It's just here's your thing. Here's your fully working, fully configured, fully ready, answer a couple of questions, and you're golden for the rest of eternity. Just keep poking it. Like, you can even automate that. Poke it every now and then then you're good. Like, it seems like that's where everything is moving. And because Bluefin is that way. You just update. And then I don't think about nothing. I do one thing. Yeah. And so, it's still really cool that it's on my schedule, right? Like I type in, you just update. But the fact that it handles everything, all of my brew updates, all of my Flatpak updates, all of my, pulls in the new container files that I need to be able to expand. And that's what I boot into. Like that is really, really cool. This is what Linux has needed for a long time. For people that don't care, because there are plenty of people that just do not care how it's put together as long as it works.
As long as it keeps working. I mean, why do you care?
Right. Well, I mean, because tinkerers, right? I mean, they will always care.
Well, you do that when it doesn't work.
Oh, well, not these people.
Yeah, maybe not. But I mean, I guess that's how you learn. There is that value.
Yeah. There was a Gentoo comment talking about how Gentoo wasn't customizable enough. Yeah. And I was like, oh, interesting take.
Really?
All right, cool. I'll give you that. But yeah, I'm on the opposite side, man. Like I don't need that deep, dark level customization. I have DistroBox if I need to do anything weird.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, just it works. It's great.
I guess that's
awesome.
always an option too, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I mean, it is in itself containers. So it's again, all of my solutions, all of the things that are making everything amazing for me or whatever is all container crap. And it's great. It's absolutely great because I don't think about it. Yes, I get to do whatever it is I want to do. and I don't have to think about it.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
Nope. One thing that you're gonna have to think about, though, is maybe someday in the future, one of your Fedora Atomics is going to run out of boot space. So
Yeah,
with the
that's a
release
thing.
of 43 on the Atomics, the installation will now create a 2 gig boot partition as opposed to, Dan, you said yours was 1. I think I checked over here.
Yeah.
I think mine is 1 as well. Whatever the
Yeah.
default was before this, I think
I
it
think
was
2016 is what I found in my research that was the last time this was changed. So, and it was changed to 1 gig at that point. So pretty much everybody after that's got a 1 gig. Before that, it was 500 meg.
I remember that. I do remember that. And we still running like when I do older Ubuntu servers or whatever, and you don't clean out your kernels, you can run into a situation where you run out of boot space, and it's like you can't boot this now. And then it's not very apparent, but you go back to an earlier kernel and it works just fine. But
and you probably don't notice it as much on like server things, but like desktop Linux, you've got some add-ons in the Linux firmware there that are pretty pertinent for your system in order to make it work. And that's really where the big space grow happens, is the Linux firmware stuff, because the kernel itself is actually kind of small still.
Right. And so I guess that means that like NVIDIA people, is that right? It would have to be early.
That's probably the biggest thing, but you got things like wireless drivers and different Bluetooth things, and I don't even know what else in there, to be completely honest with you, but just think drivers in general, and they add, there's more added all the time, and the more they add, the bigger it gets. Yeah,
I guess so, right? New hardware comes out all the time. There's 2.5 gigabit this and that network cards, and Wi-Fi 7 is coming, so we'll need new drivers for that. So yeah, I mean, like all kinds of Linux doesn't support Wi-Fi 7 yet, does it?
I don't know, but like you think that some of them are like binary, right? They're just binary blobs getting dropped in there, and others are so that's big. It's not just text at that point.
So okay, now I'm curious. I don't know this for a fact, but I would assume the NVIDIA driver lives in there, right? It would have to.
So it depends on the distro, because sometimes there are DKMS modules that get shoved in there. Where does it go? Does it go in boot? It might go in boot. I don't really know. It's been so long since I've had NVIDIA. I think it does boot, because if you have secure boot, you have to basically do mock-utils to get the thing to go. So it's going to live in boot. Some of it.
Interesting.
Anyway.
And I'm in the same boat with you. Like I've actually avoid NVIDIA hardware for exactly this reason. I don't want to have to think about none of that.
Right.
That seems like so much of a hassle just to be able to, reinstall something. But I have to imagine that's probably part of why they increased the boot partition size.
Yeah, because those things grow. Yeah.
Yeah. And those drivers, I mean, surely they're removing older versions of the hardware that they're no longer wanting to support or whatever. But
they probably go a couple of versions back. I mean, they're probably supporting multiple versions.
Right, but the new stuff is all the old stuff plus everything new too. So
sometimes,
it's not like those drivers are getting smaller over time. I think
no, they're definitely getting bigger. That's a for sure thing. Yeah.
Right. So what I guess what I'm getting at with all of this is that there's going to come a day, and because I don't run NVIDIA, I might be able to stretch it out longer than some. But there's going to come a day where my boot partition is just too small to support you just update, and I'm going to not be able to boot one day. It's going to not update for me, and it's going to say, and I'm going to be confused for a while until I remember, I remember they increased the boot partition size, maybe.
Yeah, but it doesn't apply to you, Leo, because, you're upgrading, so you would have to do a new install, right? It's basically the path for you if you already have an install. Unless you want to get really hairy and do your own ninja magic with partitioning.
Well, see, you're talking to the wrong guy for this one, because I think I have my most important files backed up. So I would absolutely, before I nuke and paved, right? If I could just, I think I would. I think I would try. There's all kinds of tooling or whatever. I just take an image to start, and then I can always roll back to the exact state that it was, and then I'll just play with it. If I can get by using something like, what is the one? It's the penguin with the superhero orange and the cape. Rescuezilla. If I can get by, yeah. If I can get by using one of those and just, opening up some space in boot and sliding everything over just a little bit, it might take a while because a lot of that stuff is going to have to be rewritten. But let me tell you something. Dan. One of the things that you run into with SSDs in general is that as data sits there, there's parity data that lives on those disks, right? And sometimes your operating system and the disk, the controller on the disk has to go to that parity data. And whenever you go to that parity data, everything takes a little bit longer. And the reason you would go to that parity data is that the information on that disk has been sitting there so long that there has been drift, like bit drift, electrical drift.
Right. Yep.
And that means that data may not be readable anymore. You know what? One of the coolest benefits of rewriting all of that data is? There's no drift.
Not anymore. No, it's fresh.
So I might be doing myself a favor here. If the day comes where boot is too small, I'll have to increase the size of boot by 1 gig. Probably, I would just do 5. Honestly, I never want to have to run into it again. I'll do 5 gigs.
It's not that much. Who cares?
And then, yeah, exactly. On a 1 terabyte disk, I don't care. So, and then it would move all of that data over by 4 gigs, forcing an entire rewrite of everything, at the very least, in the first 4 gigs of that disk, right? Of like the first data that was written on there. And that means that I'm not going to have any drift. I will likely see a performance increase by doing a boot slide. Ooh, maybe that's what I'll call it. The boot slide. Maybe we'll have a video. Yeah, in like 6 years, we'll have a video.
The boot slide and boogie.
That's it. And then you're gonna end up with a faster how to increase your system speed by 200%.
Yeah. Use this one trick.
Yeah, back up your data first, folks.
I mean, I don't know. I wonder how long that'll take you to faff around with that, and the rest of us will be just over here, just nuke and pave, just start over again.
No, I want to
Which
make it
also rewrites all of your
complicated.
data, by the way.
Yeah. Well, sure. Fine. Whatever. But mine's cooler. Mine's cooler because I live on the edge. I could lose all of my data here.
I could too. Nothing like a format to lose your stuff.
No. See, if you're nuking and paving, you're preparing, man. Like I might have an image. I might not.
To be prepared.
I might just say, you know what? I trust my skills. Let's just see what happens.
You're the YOLO sysadmin.
I am kind of a YOLO guy when it comes to stuff like that, man. Like I trust my Linux. I said Linux has been too safe for too long. This is going to be how
you'll prove
how
it
I get
wrong somehow.
Yeah, that's right. Linux is that'll be the blog post, the companion blog post. Linux is unsafe. Yeah, there you go.
Perfect.
So one last thing on the 43 Atomic thing was that they're removing my plocate.
Yeah,
from all
that's
images.
Crazy to me a little bit, kind of.
Please put this back. This is my plea to you, Fedora Council people. Not in an Atomic. That would have to require a layer, or I would have to create my own.
That's an option.
No, I'm not layering plocate back on there. I'm just going to install Albert and let it handle stuff for me.
Yeah.
As long as okay, the reason that I don't want plocate to go away is because it's really handy to be able to find a file if you know its name, right? There's not really any fuzzy matching or anything going on here, but if you know a file's name, then you can search the entire operating system for it. Now, the argument here in the Atomic is that, well, 90% of the system doesn't need to be searchable because it's immutable and you can't change it anyway, so why are you looking in here anyway? But the 10%, well, okay, depending on your
I got a home folder
size,
someplace, right? Yeah.
The vast majority of the user files need to be searchable. And maybe I'm just old school. Is it just me being old school that I use a command line search utility that doesn't do fuzzy search to find files? Maybe it is. Maybe I need to let it go.
I've certainly used it before. I mean, I've no question on that. I guess I have a file manager. I could probably open that up and do that there, maybe.
Is that the answer? This
might
be the answer.
I really You're right. I just don't use that very much. I go to the command line. I go to the place. I
I
do the
know.
thing. I don't really open up a file manager, generally speaking, unless I'm doing a bunch of dragging and dropping to maybe removable media or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Are we doing it
Yeah.
again? Are we old man?
Are we
shaking
old?
fist at cloud
I
again?
think we might be. Yeah.
Oh man.
Gray beard comes honestly. I'm sorry.
It's natural. What can I say? So
Yep.
okay.
It's not colored.
Maybe I need to move on from this.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
sad though. I mean, it's such an end of an era, I guess. Well, I mean, you can install it in regular Fedoras and every other operating system in existence or whatever. But if you're immutable, there
and I'm
are
sure
barriers.
You could layer it.
Right. You could. I don't wanna. Like I'm embracing the immutable life. So what I don't want is for things to be taken out of the image. No, don't do that. But
Is there a flat pack option here?
So that's what I need to do. What I need to do is I need to just like let myself
you know what
flow
what we do
into-
is probably a homebrew thing.
Oh, shut up. That's right. You're right. That's a good point. Maybe. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think you're right.
that's what we
This
need to
might be the
explore.
answer.
Yeah.
As long as Plocate can read. I just wanted to read my home folders. Like I don't need
Yeah,
it
pretty
to-
much. Yeah, that's fine.
I'm not searching for stuff in varlib. I don't care.
No.
But in my home folder for sure, like I want to be able to. But Albert and other tools do good at fuzzy matching though. So
Mhm.
so I'm okay. I'm of two minds. If Homebrew will let me do it, I think I'll probably will just keep kicking that can down the road. But if it won't, then maybe I just need to get on with.
Yeah, you got Albert. I got K Runner. That'll work.
Yeah, right. And so does the Gnome? Okay, so I'll have to test the Gnome search to see if it's any good at this.
Probably not.
I don't think it is though. This is part of why I'm just not happy with this change. It's
Mhm.
once there's an equivalent to at least plocate in GNOME, I'll be happy. But it doesn't find my files ever really. So
Not well. No.
So more Fedora. We talked about this a while ago.
Should we give people a warning here?
Yeah, AI warning, be careful. None of this show is created with AI, but we're going to talk about AI. So,
Sorry.
eh.
Skip ahead if you don't like this part.
Click. But you might want to actually hear at least the first part. Fedora is, in some ways, embracing AI, as in AI-assisted contributions to the project. And this is solidified with a new policy that is a living policy that can change, that can be made better, surely, for sure.
But it also creates boundaries.
Right. And I think that's important to do, right? Because Dan and I were talking before the show, and one of the things that's going to absolutely 1,000% happen is if you do not have a policy around AI, people are going to use it anyway. And then if your policy is just no AI, they're going to lie to you and submit it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You hope they would review that, but that's what this policy is for, right?
Yeah, 100%.
And the most important part about this is the accountability part. So they have 3 big sections in here: accountability, transparency, and is a 2-word one, but contribution and community evaluation. So accountability, transparency, evaluation. Those are the 3 big things that you're going to take away from this. So accountability. You must take the responsibility for your contribution, right? So you can't just let
you can't
AI...
just toss it over the fence and say, there you go. Yeah.
Right.
No, I don't know where that came from.
From
yours.
the curl project, because Daniel Stenberg was very upset about all the AI slop ending up in curl.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so this is an attempt to crack the gate open, right, and say, okay, sure, you can use AI, but you need to take responsibility for it, meaning it's still your baby.
Yep,
if
that's
it
yours.
is trash, it is your responsibility to fix it, not the project's responsibility to merge it and fix it later or something like that.
Right.
So it's a huge point, right? Transparency is one of the others, and you must disclose the use of AI tools when a significant part of the contribution is taken from a tool without changes. So what it's not saying here is that you always need to mark that you've used AI. They are not saying
Right.
that. Because it sounds like if you use AI to generate some code and then you make some substantive, and I don't know that significant is defined. Like if you have 5 lines of code, how much would you need to change for it to be a significant change to that code? But
Well, I mean,
okay.
did AI write the whole function, or did AI just give you some examples, or where did you go with that? Right? I mean,
Listen, I
did you
renamed
just
the function, Dan.
Did you
What do you
just
want me to do?
copy paste it, or did you actually just get some inspiration from it? Because I mean, gaining inspiration is not unheard of. I mean, they used to go to Stack Overflow and
Copy
get some.
paste.
Yeah, but they used to get other people used to just get ideas to base their
The good
thing
programmers.
on. Right. Well, and we're going to see the
Everybody
same.
else copied and pasted, man.
We're going to see the same thing with AI, right?
Yes.
I mean, you're going to get the bad stuff and you're going to get the good stuff. I think if you're doing it right, you kind of got some, it cleared the mental block you had, and it got you on a path to fixing it, with your own brain power, not necessarily just copy pasted it.
Right. So I think that's right. I mean, significant part, meaning you've changed it quite a bit.
That probably needs more definition, if you will.
Yeah, I think so, right? Because, if I created a function and I changed the name of the function, good enough. That's substantive. That's significant.
That's
sure.
Different.
No. I don't know. I mean, because unless you define it, I think people are gonna submit anyway, just to their own benefit. They're gonna submit,
right?
And it's a lot like no AI. So I'm just not gonna tell you that I used AI and just say that it wasn't AI. Therefore, you're gonna accept the change, right? As long as it works, it's good. And if you complain, well then back to the drawing board. We'll figure it out.
Right.
I'll get AI to generate a couple more and see if any of those get passed.
Yeah.
So I mean, a human's gonna human. So the other is evaluation. AI tools may be used to assist human reviewers by providing analysis and suggestions. So we can make the contribution using AI assistance, and then we can also evaluate the contribution using AI assistance. Okay, but it goes on to say, you must not use the AI as the sole or final arbiter in making a substantive or subjective judgment on a contribution, nor may it be used to evaluate a person's standing within the community for funding, leadership roles, code of conduct matters, right? So
yeah, that tells me that you need a human reviewer.
Right. The buck stops with a human.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just let AI do it all.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay with having the human reviewer be the final say. I mean, I think that's necessary.
Yeah, I think so. When you remove the human out of the equation, I think you're going to end up with soup. Not very good tasting soup either. It will look like soup. It will not taste like soup. So,
but if it's kind of evaluating things and giving a human suggestions, that's probably not the end of the world either. I guess it might speed things up. Maybe.
I don't know. I mean, if the AI, and I just in my mind, it can't get it right every time.
Oh, probably not. No, that's why we need to step in and say, well, what you did here is wrong, buddy. I'm sorry. Thanks for your help, but you wasted my time on that one.
The unfortunate fact is that humans are going to human, and the temptation will exist to just allow it.
To just cheat.
It's been pretty good today, so why would I question it on this one? Just click, merge. Good. We're good. And that's...
It could depend on how well defined, how narrow the scope is, how well defined the model is, and that sort of thing, potentially, I suppose.
That's a very important thing to note, right? I mean, because I don't know that we're going to be using always the best models to generate or to merge these things, right? Like, are we always using 3 models to check the other models and all this other stuff? I don't know. Yeah.
Keeping the scope narrow is important. Yeah.
Yeah. cautiously optimistic, man. Cautiously optimistic.
That's pretty fair.
These tools are going to be used whether or not there's a policy. I'm just glad there's a policy that is living.
It does establish boundaries, yeah.
Right, because Aoife Maloney says, a final note, the Fedora Council fully expects this policy to need to be updated over time to stay current with AI technology.
100%, yeah. Nothing should be static.
Right. And I think, these documents are always living, but I do hope that we really are actually reviewing the stuff, right? That the AI spits out, whatever it is.
Yep.
Losing the human in it, allowing the AI to just kind of be autonomous is always a recipe for disaster. I don't know that it ever won't be. At least from where I'm sitting, what I can see, the tools that I've been able to play with or whatever, we're far away from being able to let it do anything. So
not independently. It is not a human replacement.
Right. We'll see.
And if you like seeing our faces, you can catch them on both YouTube and Tilvids. So Leo's done a big thing here with Tilvids and kind of taken the segments that we were releasing on YouTube and putting some of those on Tilvids now. So you can catch those over there. You know, the no extra fluff versions, if you will, just the bits, right out there. Just the bits right there. And so you can catch the short segments that way, which is really neat. And we really want to thank Tilvids for being a great sponsor, if you will, of the show and allowing us to post our content over there. Tilvids is for edutainment, in case you didn't know, and it's a PeerTube instance that is
That's
federated.
right. And I feel like, a lot of the topics that we talk about are informational. Whether you learn something from them or not, I guess, is debatable. But
at least
because we're
tangentially
informing,
news, I guess, if you will, right?
Yeah. Some of this stuff is a little old, but my excuse for that is that we didn't have a true episode in the cycle of last episode. It was the B-side, right, where we did the whole cosmic exploration.
Yep.
So yeah, we're kind of we kind of have a little bit of extra. Yeah, we're catching up.
And so it's great. I think because it's federated, you can follow along in places like Mastodon. And when you interact in Mastodon, it shows back up in Tilvids. It's kind of a neat system. Decentralized federation is pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, I don't know how many people are actually following any of the accounts at all, because I swear there's 3 numbers. Like if you go find the account on Mastodon, we have 1 number. And then if you go find the account on Tilvids, it's a different, bigger number. And then there's also, and then there's a third thing. This is not a confusing thing. There's the channel itself. So there's the account.
Has subscribers, yeah.
And then there's the channel that has the subscribers as well. And
I guess if we had other channels, I don't know.
Right. I don't know. Well, sure. Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. Anyway, it works.
I did
and
not
like
think
I said,
about
when
that.
you comment there, it does show back up on the Tilvids page, and that's kind of neat, I think.
And you can see those on Mastodon if you're following that account. So
if you follow over there, yeah. So good stuff. But ultimately, if you really, really, really love us and the show, you can go over onto Patreon and you can become a member there. So Patreon is kind of cool now because you can join for free, or you can donate some money and you'll get perks. It doesn't matter the level you join at, you will get some perks. All the way up to, having a high quality audio recording and video of all the show, including the not show before the show.
The hour and 20 minutes. It was an hour and 20 minutes before we got into the show. So we talked about all kinds of stuff. Yeah, it was a whole entire separate show.
Pretty much. Probably not related to Linux or open source things, but
some of it.
Just some of it might have been. That's fine.
It can be anything. It can be anything. up
It could
there.
be anything.
It's just a stream of thoughts as we're cobbling together what we lovingly call the show.
Right. But if you're just a community member and down on the very free tier of Patreon, you'll get the episode like 3 hours early.
That's right.
Which is kind of neat. I mean, so everybody's getting a perk here. And we love you, everybody that loves us. So that's why we give you perks.